I love my boyfriend to death, but we have reached an impasse. I moved into my current house last year after I got a dog, specifically because I wanted her to have a huge backyard to roam around in. I bought her doggy door, and she loved it. A few months later, my boyfriend moved in from his apartment, though he still has the apartment, and was excited about the backyard because he always wanted chickens. He eventually bought 4 chickens, and at first he kept them in an extra large dog cage, but let them free roam for most of the day. That was until we realized that my dog likes to chew their feathers off. So then the chickens had monitored outside time. Then he decided that that wasn't fair to the chickens, and now won't let my dog have free access outside. He keeps her locked in her cage all day when I'm not home, and if she does need to go outside, he makes her put a muzzle on. She can no longer go outside and play with her toys, and my house is way too small for her to have room to play. He's even started scolding me even when I let her walk around inside without the muzzle inside, because he says if I'm not paying attention, she might sneak outside and hurt the chickens. It's starting to piss me off because the backyard was for her. He doesn't even pay rent on my house. He refuses to make a properly gated area in the yard, even though there's plenty of room. When I remind him that my dog has a right to freedom in my house, he just reminds me on how bad the chickens look after she was done chewing them up. When I suggested him getting rid of the chickens, he says we can't because of all the missing feathers. At this point I think the only thing I can do is to ask him to leave and take his chickens. I know he lives in an apartment, but at this point, that's his problem. Would I be the a-hole if I asked him to move out? Not the a-hole. Your house, your rules. Everything gets to be your way because he pays no rent. He's being cruel to your dog. What more do you need to hear? He's being cruel to the chickens too. They need a proper coop and run where they won't be terrorized. All animals are miserable here. The chickens are scared, the dog can't be comfortable at home. He really shouldn't be around pets if that's his idea. Not the a-hole, it's not his house, not his yard. Not your chicken, not your problem. You got the yard for your dog and she can't enjoy it. At this point he's compromising the well-being of your dog who doesn't even know what she did wrong and won't try the most simple option, which would be to have a fenced area designated for his feathered friends. To add to that, do you really want to be with someone that treats your dog like that? I surely wouldn't. No matter how much I love someone, I would never allow them to treat my pets that way. They are my babies. If he treats your dog this poorly, is this the kind of guy you want to have children with? He is basically house squatting at your place, and on top of that, he is making the rules in your home that you pay for. You shouldn't have to bend and break for him and his chickens in your own home while your dog is being neglected like that. I know love is blind, but I can't help but feel a little triggered that you're allowing him to mistreat and neglect your dog like that. And if you do stay with him, please put your dog up for adoption as it deserves much better than this. Well, I'd say, not the a-hole, but I'd suggest you take a deeper consideration on your relationship. Is he not getting rid of the apartment because he wants a fallback or backup plan? Are either of you serious about committing to this? It seems silly to essentially give him the boot from your place, make him pack all his chickens and shit, with the intent to keep the relationship going. Booting him from the house seems like it'll probably be a relationship ender, so if you're cool with that, go with that. Otherwise, if you are hoping for a longer-term commitment, do you want every decision in your relationship based on who pays more for what? If he made more money, can he keep the chickens? If you guys had a place together and were paying an equal share, are you still cool with the chickens? I'm going to guess no, because you still want your dog to have her freedom. So it's probably not really about the rent. He should be paying rent anyway, or contributing in some financial way to the place you're both staying. Because it's a partnership. But he doesn't pay rent, is kinda immaterial. So, you're not an a-hole to ask him to move out, but realize you're probably breaking up with him. Otherwise, if you are looking for longer term, you guys just need to learn to have better communication and compromise. Yes, the way he's treating your dog is unreasonable. Come up with a schedule. Tell him he needs to put up some form of fence or sectioning so the animals can equally be free, etc. Basically I'm 25 and she's 23. She gets company credit for food and drinks as she works for like a week at a time. She cooks all her own food and uses that money to buy a coffee each morning. She always goes to the same coffee shop. Me and my girlfriend are very comfortable, and she's bi, so sometimes we will both say how hot a girl is or whatever. She always says the guy who serves her coffee is beautiful. She confirmed that she wasn't attracted to him, but that he was stunning and a very pretty man. That was fine. Anyway, so she goes in every day and always has stories to tell about the guy behind the counter. I trust her entirely. I know she doesn't really want him and wouldn't do anything. Anyway, I went in the other day and straight away knew who she meant, as this gorgeous long-haired dude took my order. I ordered her favorite drink as she was at home, and I shit you not, he said, "Oh, is that for Emma?" And when I looked shocked, he went, "I just know that's her usual, no one else really orders it." I said, "Yes, it is, but by the way pal, she has a boyfriend and it's me." The guy kinda laughed and I said that I appreciate he's doing his job, but to lay off her, as in my eyes, I think he was flirting. He laughed again and said, "Sure thing." I didn't tell my girlfriend, who went to get coffee a few days later and came home raging, saying how dare I embarrass her like that. This pissed me off cause why doesn't she want him to know? She said she already mentioned me and that the guy is gay and she knows his boyfriend. Fair, innocent mistake on my behalf, but the girlfriend never told me this beautiful man was gay. She stormed out and still won't speak to me without making sly digs. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. He knew her order and was being friendly because that's literally his job. Apologize to your girlfriend for your insecurities and also the barista next time you're in there for acting like a duck. I just don't get how OP is not embarrassed. I got second-hand embarrassment the moment he called the barista pal. You're the a-hole. He knows her name and order because she goes every day. It's not a surprise. Just because he remembers her doesn't mean he was flirting with her. He's doing his job. Also, he is gay, and that's why he was laughing. You're the a-hole because you sounded like a complete douche. A smarter man would have said something along the lines of, "Oh, Emma. Yeah, she's my girlfriend. I figured I'd grab her a coffee since I was stopping anyway. She's mine bruh," is how she gets fucked out of spite for you. You're the a-hole. Why shouldn't he know a regular customer's your regular order? You claim you trust her, but you don't like it when the beautiful coffee man knows her order. Come on dude, be honest with yourself. You made a fool of yourself and I think you know that. I go to my Dunkin' Donuts 2-3 times a week. The ladies at the register know my name and my order. They know my kid's name and ask about him if he's not with me. It's good business. I don't always tip at coffee places, but I do there because they've been so personable. I have a distinctive car. The first time my husband went to pick up my on-the-go order, they were like, "You must be with Nerdiberty." We recognized the car. And everyone laughed. It's just business and super common for them to make connections like this. My lovely girlfriend and I have been together for 8 months. She slept over at my place last night, and in the morning she woke me up saying she had went out and brought back a couple of lattes and pastries from a coffee shop around the corner from my apartment for breakfast. My issue with this is that my apartment has a 2-factor entry, first my student ID to scan in, and then my key to get back into the apartment. It auto locks. I asked her how she was able to get back into the apartment and she said that she grabbed my keychain, which has my ID on it in a wallet type thing, before heading out to buy us breakfast, so she would be able to get back in. I told her that I didn't appreciate her violating my privacy like that, and she got upset, saying that she was just trying to do something nice for me. We started to fight about it, and I ended up asking her to leave. Since then, she hasn't answered any of my texts or calls. When I told my roommate about this, he said that I was the asshole because she did something thoughtful for me and I yelled at her about it. I think she was violating my privacy by stealing my keys. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I thought it was weird that she took my keys without asking. They could have gotten stolen or something while she was out. I get that she was being nice, but why couldn't she have asked? Edit 2. And no, she still hasn't responded to me. Oh, man. I hope this red flag is enough of a warning for her. Edit. You're the a-hole. But privacy was violated. OP, bro, definitely you're the a-hole. I'm confused as to how he thinks his privacy was violated. She was already in the room with him. It's not like she sneaked off with him one time, made copies, and broke into his apartment with coffee while he was asleep. You're the a-hole, invading your privacy. She was already at your place. Taking your keys literally to do a nice thing isn't invading your privacy. She didn't go into your porn folder on your computer to make sure she could get back into the room now. She took your keys and bought you food. What a baby. I'd be weirded out by the situation if a girl did this to me after we've been seeing each other for a week or two. That isn't enough time to get to establish sufficient intimacy and trust to the point where I'm cool with her taking my keys while I'm asleep. But 8 months. No privacy was violated here, OP. You're the a-hole. Very thoughtful of you to show her your true colors before she gets too invested into the relationship. You're the a-hole. Poor girl. Yeah, this is hilarious. I wouldn't expect those calls or texts to be returned at any point, OP. She's already out the door counting her blessings, and all her friends probably know the story, and to stay away from you too. It's a student ID, not a social security card. You can get a new one of those by walking to the registrar's office and saying, "Hey, I lost my student ID lol." You're the a-hole. Your ex-girlfriend was being nice. It's not like she stole them to make copies. She just wanted to be nice. Damn, ex-girlfriend. You're a madman. I like it.